Hello and welcome, students of Europe Hotel School. I'm thrilled to be your guide on this part of your online learning journey. We're about to talk about the future of hospitality. And I'm not talking about some far-off sci-fi vision. I'm talking about a future that is already here, transforming hotels as we speak. We're going to explore how technology isn't replacing us, but actually making us better. So, let's get started. All right, let's kick things off with what I think is the single most important idea for your entire career. For years, the conversation around automation has been all about fear, right? This fear that we're all going to be replaced. But honestly, the reality is so much more exciting. It's not about replacement, it's about augmentation. It means we're using technology to amplify the things that make us human, our skills, our empathy, not to get rid of them. So here's our game plan for today. First, we'll talk about the augmented workforce. Then we'll get into the triple threat of automation, why the best hotels are jumping on board. After that, we'll see some real-world examples in action. I'll walk you through a roadmap to get this done, and we'll wrap up by looking at what's next, a future built on anticipation. Okay, first section, the augmented workforce, where we're redefining team productivity. Let's start by really reframing how we think about all this. This isn't just about adding a new piece of software. We're talking about a completely new philosophy for how we operate. So what exactly is workforce augmentation? Well, here's the core of it. It's all about using technology to amplify the skills and capacity of your team. Think of it this way. Technology's job is to handle the boring stuff, the repetitive tasks, the complex math, the things that drain our energy. That frees up your people to do what only people can do, create those amazing, high-value, personal interactions with guests. The goal here is to use tech to make your team more human, not less. And this is what it looks like in practice. Just take a look at this chart. On the left, you've got your traditional team's output. But over on the right, that's an augmented team. The difference is just staggering, right? Especially now when we're facing labor shortages, this is absolutely critical. This is how you do more with the team you have. We're talking about a team of 10 delivering the same output as a team of 30. That's not just a small improvement, that is a total game changer. All right, moving on to section 2, the triple threat of automation. Let's dig into why the top hotels are going all in on this. It really boils down to 3 huge strategic advantages, what I like to call the triple threat. First up, time. We're talking about saving thousands of hours. Think about all that time your teams lose to what I call administrative theater. You know what I mean. All those repetitive tasks that feel like work but don't actually create any value for the guest. Manual data entry, copying and pasting between systems, typing out the same email for the 100th time. Automation just wipes all that away. It gives thousands of hours back to your team so they can focus on guests, not get buried in spreadsheets. The second part of this triple threat is accuracy. Let's be honest, we humans are amazing at things like creativity and empathy, but we are not so great at repetitive data tasks. We're just not built for it. We mistype a number, we forget to carry the one, and suddenly a small mistake becomes a big, costly problem. And AI, on the other hand, it never gets tired, it never gets distracted. In what I call the zero error zone, things like contracts and billing, it hits 100% accuracy every single time. And number 3, scalability. This one's huge. Imagine this. One of your social media posts goes viral over the weekend. Suddenly you have 5,000 inquiries flooding your inbox. What happens to a human team? They're completely overwhelmed. It's chaos. But an automated system? It just scales. It can handle 50,000 leads just as easily with the same speed and precision as it handles 5. You can't be caught flat-footed anymore. And really, this slide just lays it all out, doesn't it? On one side, you have the old way. A swamp of manual data entry, endless spreadsheets, and the stress that comes with knowing a human error is just waiting to happen. On the other side, the 2026 way. Smart, automated workflows, intelligent systems, and just flawless execution. This isn't a dream about the future, folks. This is the new standard of excellence today. Okay, so we've covered the why. Now let's get into the how. Section 3 is all about automation in action. What does this actually look like day to day? We're going to look at 4 key pillars of a modern hotel where this stuff is making a huge difference. Let's start with email. Gone are the days of just blasting out the same generic newsletter to everyone. AI transforms this into a real one-to-one conversation. For example, the system sees that a past guest anniversary is coming up. What does it do? It automatically triggers a personalized email with a special offer and a note about their favorite bottle of wine you have waiting. It shows you remember them, you value them, and just like that, you've secured a high-value booking, all without a human having to lift a finger. And what about chatbots? I know, we all have nightmares about the clunky, useless chatbots of the past. Forget those. Today's AI agents are basically sophisticated 24/7 digital concierge. Look at this real example. A guest from Italy asks, at 3 a.m. in Italian, about dogs and a Peloton bike. The AI doesn't just understand the complex question, it answers in perfect Italian, sends a photo of the Peloton, and then, this is the key, it asks to book the room. That's seamless, instant service that's just incredibly effective. Okay, for anyone thinking about going into sales or events, listen up because this one is a massive game changer. You know the biggest bottleneck in the whole process? It's always the contracts. Well, that's changing. What used to be a 45-minute slog, drafting the proposal, double-checking rates, formatting a PDF, is now a 2-minute process. The AI generates the perfect contract, sends it out, and the client can sign it right on their phone literally seconds later. In sales, speed wins deals. Period. And finally, let's talk about revenue management. Pricing just isn't static anymore. AI-powered systems are constantly scanning the market, looking for signals. So picture this. A 10,000-person conference is suddenly announced in your city. The AI sees the spike in online searches and instantly adjusts your room rates to capture that premium demand. You're maximizing revenue before your competitors have even had their morning coffee. Now, I know this can all sound a bit overwhelming, but bringing this into a real hotel isn't magic. It's a process. So in Section 4, we're going to walk through a simple step-by-step implementation roadmap to make it happen. So where on earth do you start? It's simple. You start with your people. You don't start with the tech. You go to your team and you ask them this one powerful question. What is the one task you do every single day that makes you want to quit? I'm serious. The answers you get back, that's your treasure map. Responding to the same 5 questions over and over, wrestling with billing software, those are your friction points. That's where you start. So once you've found those friction points, the rest of the roadmap is pretty logical. Step 1, you've identified them. Step 2, you choose your tech stack, the right tools for the job. Step 3, and this is crucial, is human-first training. You're not training people on how to use a new button. You're training them on how this new tool makes their job better. And finally, step 4, you monitor and optimize. This isn't a set-it-and-forget-it thing. It's a living system that you're always refining. Now, when you're choosing that tech, the most important thing is to think of it like you're building a team where every single person speaks the same language. We call this an API-first approach. All that really means is that all your different systems, your PMS, your CRM, your contract software, they can all talk to each other seamlessly. That's the secret sauce that makes a truly intelligent, connected hotel actually possible. Okay, and that brings us to our final section. And honestly, this is the most exciting part. We're going to look beyond just getting tasks done. We're moving into the future, which is all about anticipation. So what do I mean by anticipation? This is the end game. This is the stage where the automation becomes so seamless, so integrated, that it's basically invisible. It's just humming along in the background, not waiting for a guest to ask for something, but proactively creating these little personalized moments of delight. It's about making a guest feel completely seen and understood. So what does that feel like for the guest? Well, it means they check in, walk into their room, and their favorite song is already playing softly. The temperature is already set exactly how they like it, and the front desk agent, who isn't busy clicking around a screen, is able to greet them by name with their favorite drink already poured and waiting. That's the peak of hospitality. And this right here, this is the whole point. It's the perfect summary of this new philosophy. The automation did all the heavy lifting in the background, but it was the human who delivered the heart. That's the partnership. That's the future. So as you all move forward in your studies and into your amazing careers, I want to leave you with this question. Technology is going to be your most powerful ally. So the question is, how will you, the next generation of leaders, use augmentation to deliver the real, unforgettable heart of hospitality? Thank you for your time.